Good morning, everyone. Today we're checking out a brand new video from the food theaters about Nutter Butter lore. Huh. You know, I've always seen those snacks, and the only one that in my family that seems to really like them was like my mom. I never got like the big deal about them. But I guess there's actually lore behind them, so let's hop in and check that out.
Hello, once again, theorists.
Hey, Santi.
Welcome to Santi Reviews. Today, we're reviewing the scariest branded social media of all time. You've probably never heard of it. It's called Nutter Butter. Here we go. Oh my gosh, so creepy. I'm so creeped out.
Butterfly!
Come on,
That's
is this
creepy.
really what it takes to go viral nowadays? Ah!
Okay, now we're getting something.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Food Theory, where there's no nut I can't crack. Now, there comes a point
phrasing.
in every theorist's career where one overly convoluted franchise, or ARG, appears out of the tall grass to test that theorist's grip on reality. Game theory had
For 10 years.
FNAF, film theory has whatever Book of Bill is cooking up, and now it's my turn. My turn to slowly start to unravel at the seams, trying to figure out just what in the ever-loving multiverse is going on with Nutter Butter. Yep, looks like the
Please.
arch nemesis of my tenure is gonna be a cookie I used to trade for Gushers at recess. For the uninitiated, Nutter Butter's social media team has made some, let's say, strong
Questionable?
choices. Instead of posting dated cookie memes like Oreo, lazy, breezy, branded collabs like Keebler, or even good old-fashioned food corn like Chips Ahoy, Nutter Butter chose violence.
Oh boy, now that's a corn.
Psychological warfare. Sure, some of it is just random abstract imagery, but this is a
What
crime
the
scene.
hell?
These are the sort of photos you'd find in a serial killer beginner's guide to murder kit. Who? Bro.
I
And
don't know.
oh my god, there's more. There's
That was a
so
foot.
much
That's a foot.
more. And apparently, it's my job to make sense of all of this. Because guess what? Amidst all this peanut butter smut, there's lore. No, really, there's actually a whole hidden
What?
story about a creepy mascot, a parallel universe, and for some reason, the name Aiden, repeated
this
over
can't be.
and over and over. Oh, and over. What does this all mean? Well, if my research is correct,
Sandy, I have no idea what the hell you are going on about. You've
we're
lost
at the
your
precipice
nut.
of an interdimensional invasion, and the fate of our world rests in the hands of, you guessed it, Aiden, the Nutter Butter Messiah. Don't
What
start
is this
cheering for him
shit?
yet, though, because he might be the reason we're doomed in the first place. So
Damn you,
theorists
Aiden.
consider No Nut November officially over because we're about to solve the Nutter Butter ARG, and it is nothing but nut. The first thing we'll need to do to make sense of all of this Nutter Butter TikTok clutter is
Yeah.
start at the beginning. Metaphorically, we need to find Peanut Parker before he was bitten by whatever radioactive social media intern came up with this brain rot. Easier said than done, because Nutter Butter's social media accounts have been working on this nonsense for years, even if most of us are
fuck.
just hearing about it now. To start things off, a lot of the chaotic energy
ain't
of what
good.
would be considered Nutter Butter canon was just the natural evolution of an ordinary brand account throwing internet trends at the wall to see what stuck, which you'd think would be easy because, you know, peanut butter. Here's them
Maybe.
cashing in on the Versailles run meme in 2021, and here's them hopping onto that 2022 Doubloon TikTok trend. BT dubs, if you're watching this, your doubloons just doubled. I bring up these old
Oh,
posts
hey,
because
thanks.
scattered among that standard brand social media fare, you'll find the elements of the Nutter Butter ARG germinating, like this 2022 deep fried Instagram
Oh,
post,
geez.
or this 800,000 viewed video from 2021. In it, they simply plop a cookie into a glass of water. Now, I know that
Why would
might
they
seem
do
gross
that?
and also not important, but let me tell you, it is, and it'll all make sense soon. For now, though, let's
Santi, I'm gonna need you to explain everything because I have no idea what's going on.
focus
I'm about to
on
lose
this
my
post
mind.
here. Posted to TikTok on January 11th of 2023, this ear-grating slideshow is more or less ground zero and the genesis of the ARG. With a distorted version of Calvin Harris's Summer playing in the background, this grainy slideshow ends with a pile of Nutter Butters and the name Aiden overlaid on top. At this
Okay.
point, you're probably asking the same thing the whole internet was asking back in 2023. Nutter Butter, you good? And maybe
Yeah.
if you're named Aiden, you might also be asking, is that cookie account account talking to me? Well, sorry, Aiden,
I
but
don't know.
no. Nutter Butter was actually talking to one very specific Aiden. You see, back before the ARG got traction,
Whoa.
a very real person named Aiden made it his mission to comment his name on every single Nutter Butter Instagram post. So that's
Oh my god, why would you do that?
the
You're
short answer
crazy.
to who Aiden is. Now, this OG Aiden actually does end up becoming a vital part to the Aiden that's now at the center of the ARG, but I do need to stress, first and foremost, he is a real-life human guy and not a character. So
Aiden, what the
please
hell's
don't
wrong
go
with you?
looking for him and harass him about the ARG, especially because all of this wacky analog horror evolved from the social media managers jokingly acknowledging his presence. But it blew up, and Nutter Butter had almost no choice but to run with it. We started getting all sorts of unsettling videos like Nutter Butters being drowned in peanut butter then crushed to bits, or random animations of a helicopter labeled Nut Force 1. Wild
Okay, that's funny as hell and would make a damn good shot.
name, by the way, airdropping a Nutter Butter kaiju. During this era, a few post archetypes emerged. First, there was the Wet Nutter Butters, like their 2021 post. Nutter
sorry,
Butter started
what?
to get a lot of mileage out of soaking the cookies in water. They even had the unholy thought of turning them into ice cubes.
Oh.
Then there was a trend of everyday objects
That's
lathered up in
disgusting.
peanut butter. Homework, watches, key cards, and, oh, you know, babies. If I had to see it, so do you.
Oh my god, that's what that's from! For years I've always wondered what the hell that was about. That thing is, that was related to this? Oh my god!
Ew. There was also a fixation on stepping on Nutter Butters or peanut butter. That's where the nasty croc comes in. Oh god, why are we watching it again? Editor, I said in the script not to show it. See, it's right there. In any case, this was all definitely interesting,
Good God in
but
heaven.
seemingly random. At first glance, all I saw were the peanut butter slathered memes of a desperate corporate
Oh,
social
those are
media
pens.
man. But with each steady scroll, a pattern began to emerge, and those images quickly became a lot more interesting and a lot less random, especially when I noticed that there were loads more pictures with the name Aiden
Aiden,
appearing.
yep.
Of the Aiden posts, this one would eventually set the greater story into motion. On the surface, it was a simple food trend video intercut with an old Nutter Butter commercial from the 70s, but as it goes on, it gets distorted, and the name Aiden pops up more. This
Aiden.
old Nutter Butter commercial is the key to the ARG, and its
Go
audio
on.
gets sampled repeatedly. In the ad, a young boy on a playground is approached by the Nutter Butter Man, the mascot that gives Willy Wonka with a court mandate to not step within 500 feet of the schoolyard. But here he is showing a young boy his filling while singing a jingle. Spoilers, but this Nutter Butter Man is the villain of this 3-arc ARG. Over the course of 2023,
Arc?
the Nutter Butter Man's presence slowly corrupts the Nutter Butter social media accounts in what I'm calling the first contact arc. First, we get a
Oh my
post
God.
telling us that we've been visited by him and that his intentions are unclear, with a caption telling us that he is among us.
Get out of
Then
the
his
hill.
face
Get out
appears
of
in
the
the
hill.
reflection of a spoon and an amount of peanut butter. Aside from this eerie meal though, this post also has a code hidden across the top of the page.
Oh,
This
that's
here
cool.
is a Visionaire cipher, and by using the keyword Aiden, the text translates to Aiden needs you now more than ever. The next Instagram post
More
has
than
the
ever
Nutter Butter
twice.
Man watching us through an attic with the caption he sees you, and looky there, another Visionaire cipher on the roof. This one
Oh, that's
translates
tough
to
to
is
see.
anyone there? The Nutter Butter Man then starts showing up through glitchy video recordings and dimly lit hallways. And to make it even worse,
Oh my
you have this
God.
caption: make no mistake, this was always part of the plan. If
What
Batman and my middle school
plan?
nightmares taught me anything, it's never trust a clown. While the details of this plan are about as vague as the rest of the Nutter Butter account, it's
I was
clear
about
to
to
me that
grab
during
my
this first
sword.
contact arc, neither we the audience nor the Nutter Butter Man know where Aiden is exactly. And the mystery to his whereabouts is a point that Nutter Butter really drives home. Another post around this time warned us through flashing text that this is not a game. And that video included a string of
okay.
binary code that translates to where is Aiden.
I
The same
don't
question
know.
is also hidden in Braille in another post. So congratulations, Aiden, you get a gold medal in hide and seek. Now that Braille post reveals a new bit of lore. On top of this fever dream, there's an interdimensional Nutter Butter with the power to transcend worlds. And yes, it's painfully annoying that crawling down this rabbit hole gives us more questions than answers. But luckily, and this might be the first time in human history that anyone has said this friggin' sentence, the
Oh, God.
introduction of a multiverse traveling cookie actually starts to put all of this into perspective. You see, this isn't the
What?
first time that Nutter Butter has mentioned the multiverse. Way back at the start of the ARG, we were treated to this slideshow on TikTok. This upload compiled some of the account's most memorable early
Okay.
Instagram moments, all of which fold into the larger narrative. This post here is the lore dump we need to make heads and tails of the story.
Please
The post in question
explain.
has everything. The Nutter Butter Man, more shoe hyperfixations, weird fetish, but we don't yuck yums here, and the answer to our burning questions. Here's the big one. According to the very last slide, there's an alternate dimension where peanut butter replaces water. The operative word there is replaces. It's not an alternate dimension where water is peanut butter. No, this is a world where water was turned into peanut butter. With this piece, the rest of
That's-
the puzzle slowly clicks together. Suddenly,
That at least now explains the whole dropping into a glass of water.
it makes sense why there were so many posts with soggy cookies. These posts weren't
Oh
just
my God,
gross,
too
they're
much.
attempts at replacing the water with nutty water. There's no version of this.
Just say peanut butter. Just say peanut butter.
That sounds good. Going even further, there's this
Something
image of the
under
planet
God.
with peanut butter being poured into its core, as if this is the current state of the world within the Nutter Butter Mirrorverse. Then we have an image of a Nutter Butter walking through a doorway. When this image was originally posted on Instagram, it was captioned with s'il vous plaît, which is French and wrong for please. Taking what we've been shown
Oh,
so
that's how it's
far,
supposed
this
to be.
is a depiction of the interdimensional Nutter Butter, and it's requesting access to our universe. Sort of a vampire scenario where he needs to be
like,
invited in.
no!
While it might not look like much, this seemingly harmless interdimensional Nutter Butter is the Nutter Butter Man. Think about it. This gives us a motive. The Nutter Butter Man wants Aiden because for some reason, Aiden is the key to getting into our world. Through Aiden,
Aiden, for the love of God, don't let that Nutter Butter Man into our
and he can
world.
turn our salty oceans to
Don't listen
salty
to the
peanut
nut.
butter, terraform our land into cookies. Basically, the Nutter Butter Man wants to make Earth into a giant Nutter Butter. That's the plan. He wants to nut into our water supply. Don't laugh like that. This is a serious existential threat. Damn it. Fortunately for
I thought I had said something when I said don't listen to the nut, only for Santi to one-up me and say he's going to nut in the planet. Oh my God in heaven.
For us, at the end of this arc, Old Man Butter closes in
God.
on the mysterious Aiden, posting threatening stalker photos by way of Google Maps. So, like any good plot, we've got the world and we've got the threat. Now, it's time for our main character. On Instagram, this post caption
Aiden.
is a cipher that tells people to confirm by typing, "I am here for Aiden." We also get a post with a similar cipher that tells people to confirm receipt of this message by pledging support for Aiden. Finally, this chapter ends with a video that has a flash frame code that says it
Ooh.
is time to start paying very close attention. And pay very close attention
Okay.
we shall,
Ain't nothing
because
else
we're
going on.
about to enter the Aiden Nutmare arc. Yep, after months of teasing us with his name, Nutter Butter finally was ready to start giving us Aiden's story. The first post in this era is a video of a man making a Nutter Butter
the-
beverage. Ugh. As we will soon
Oh,
learn,
God.
this man is Aiden, and he's not in full control of his actions here. There emerges
Yeah.
a new disturbing trend of POV videos where this man finds himself waking up to bizarre Nutter Butter displays in his home. Here's one
What?
where he follows peanut buttery footprints to a fridge holding a lone Nutter Butter. And here's another where he
What?
walks up to a shower running with a package of cookies waiting for him. When coupled with
What?
this Instagram caption that tells us that he may only visit in our dreams, and a post with a caption that urges us to go to sleep, we can deduce that Aiden has been sleepwalking. And while he sleeps, the Nutter Butter Man has been puppeteering his body. To do what, you
Yeah,
ask?
it
It would
appears
seem
so.
like making the world's weirdest midnight snacks, pairing the cookie with shrimp or tuna. But doors go two ways. And while Aiden
Oh,
sleeps and the
that's
Nutter Butter Man
disgusting.
uses his body, Aiden visits the world of Nutter Butters. The most interesting thing, though, is that evidence suggests Aiden has been able to cross over to the Nutter Butter realm way before the Nutter Butter Man set his beady, creamy eyes on him. You
No
see, one of the
shit.
earliest ARG posts has Aiden visiting the Nutter Butter world and modeling fashion alongside a lady Nutter. I'm gonna call her Sweetheart because recently the ARG has been using that phrase, and I'm staking my claim that this is a callback to her. Without
take
getting
it.
too ahead of
I'll
ourselves,
take it.
later on in this chapter of the story, it appears that Aiden and Sweetheart fall in love, get married, and eventually have a child together. So the narrative it
Oh,
seems we're getting is
disgusting.
that Aiden crossed over into the Nutter Butter universe,
Don't make the guy isekai'd.
and there he lived a second life, not realizing that it was real. This does open up one question. How? Well, there's an unexpected scientific explanation for his ability to walk between worlds. According to studies, sugar has been linked with nightmares and bizarre dreams. Other studies have linked vitamin B6, a vitamin peanut butter is rich in, with the ability to better recall dreams. And there is anecdotal evidence among lucid dreamers that it can make those dreams more vivid. All this to say that one night when he was nutty for Nutter Butter, Aiden probably binged before bed and it popped him straight into another world. Don't try this at home, kids.
Yeah,
As you can imagine,
that.
A human crossing over to the nightmare Nutterland caught Nutter Butterman's attention, and he saw an opportunity to use Aiden for his own purposes. This is where his hunt began. One of the more horrifying videos shows the Nutter Butterman reaching out toward Aiden, and it's implied that he touches him,
He has peanut butter on his hands!
Aiden with the sticky peanut butter that coats his skin. This peanut butter mark allows the Nutter Butter Man to make use of Aiden's real-world body while he, for lack of a better phrase, nut walks. So while Aiden is living through his honeymoon phase with Sweetheart and having a little nutter named Brian, the Nutter Butter Man is hard at work replacing windshield wiper fluid with cookies. The madman. Then one day, Aiden stumbles upon the Nutter Butter Man's notebook. Under a blacklight, he finds a threatening note from the Nutter Butter Man. This was my notebook. Something nutty is going to happen soon, but you have to find it yourself. Then on the next page, there's a code. The code translates to 2024 is Brian's year. Obviously a threat, and while Aiden desperately attempts to dip into his emergency supplies to lucid dream and confront the Nutter Butter Man, his nemesis acts out his master plan. This brings us to the
Brian, wasn't that the name that they said was given to Aiden's Nutter Butter baby?
Most disturbing video in the whole ARG. This entry is deceptively from the point of view of the Nutter Butter Man. He breaks into Aiden's dream home, pushes past Sweetheart, and destroys Brian. Aiden is too late, but to prevent further bloodshed and protect Sweetheart, the Nutter Butter Man has Aiden completely cover himself in peanut butter. Instead of giving the Nutter Butter Man more control over Aiden's human form though, this excessive peanut buttering traps Aiden in the Nutter Butter universe. This brings us to Act 3, the hostage arc. Again, we get a handful of missing Aiden posts.
So, the Nutter Butter Man just killed the son. That's terrible.
But this time, Nutter Butter Man is using Aiden as a bargaining chip. We are left with captions like send to 3 people or Aiden cannot return. Clearly, Nutter Butter Man is no longer latching himself to Aiden, and instead he's seeking others who can dream themselves into the Nutterverse. In this final act, a new character emerges,
It's
Nadia.
time to
Now,
bond.
Nadia is just Aiden spelled backwards, and many believe that she and Sweetheart are one and the same. The answer is a little more complicated than that. Evidence shows she's actually another Nutwalker. Check out these posts, for example. That deadly heel appears just around the time Nadia hacks into the Nutter Butter social media accounts. Also, clock those baked beans, theorists. That's another food with vitamin B6, meaning that while this image is incredibly off-putting, it's also scientifically a catalyst for nut walking. This means that the nutter that Aiden fell in love with and had a family with was actually another nut walker just like him. So when the Nutter Butter Man invaded their home and destroyed Brian, Sweetheart woke back up in our world as Nadia. Eventually, the Nutter Butter Man wrests control over the socials and starts to release images of him and a peanut butter coated Aiden. Fun fact, these are actually altered images of the real Aiden, and the ad agency managing Nutter Butter actually hired him to work on these videos. Luckily for Aiden, Nadia's rescue mission wound up being a success. She was able to smuggle a magical Nutter Butter wand to Aiden, which he uses to frag the Nutter Butter Man into a zillion cookies and then Disney Channel portal his way home. But like any good horror movie, this defeat of the Nutter Butter Man is only temporary, and the happy ending isn't all that happy. Not only does the caption of his death say he's gone for now, but he literally reappears in the feed like a week later. There's something more terrifying about his defeat at the hands of our hero though, because our hero is compromised. After Aiden returns, he's exclusively depicted as a doll. Odd choice considering we saw him escape with our own eyes, right? No, that was just what the Nutter Butter Man wanted us and Aiden to think. On September 20th, Nutter Butter posted a video featuring a new character called Mr. 1021. 1021
Okay.
allegedly works at Nutter Butter HQ, and during his first appearance, he morphs into the Nutter Butter Man.
Oh,
Notice
crap.
anything about 1021 though? Let me just put up a silhouette of IRL Aiden.
Oh.
Yup, that is the same picture. Mr. 1021 is
Click.
Aiden, or at least his physical body. Because while his mind and soul are trapped in the doll, his body is now under the influence of the Nutter Butter Man. But that doesn't mean that he's won. In fact, it's only just beginning. But hey, that's just a theory. A
This
food
is-
theory. Bon appetit.
This is the absolute craziest lore I've ever seen for a freaking cookie in my years. Holy God in heaven. I love it. Alright everyone, well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Links to the original will be in the description below. And I'll see all of y'all next time when we flick back on. Till then, this is Fox, signing out. Peace.